Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing well, and if you guys traded today, had a great day. Um, Liam, I'm back with another video. This is going to be going over Friday, May 9th, my analysis and my trades of the Micro E-mini S&P 500 futures. Um, I went a little longer than I expected to go last video, so I'm going to try to make this one shorter. With that being said, if you guys don't understand price action and think what I'm just talking about is nonsense, I would exit this video and go look up an actual video about what price action is, and you guys will probably have a better understanding. Also, if you guys don't understand the strategy that I'm doing, which is trying to catch second legs down, I would go ahead and go look at Al Brooks' trading course and look up some videos of Al Brooks, and he can explain the second leg system and method that I am doing. So, all due respect and thank you to Al Brooks. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know the system at all. And a huge shout out to Troy Hoyle for teaching me everything I know. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be trading. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. This is the S&P Micro E-mini 5-minute chart. I'm gonna try to make this quick and short. Also, I made the most points I've ever made in a single day today, and I'll get into that. But it was 20 minutes. I was done for the day, so pretty cool. To start out, like I always say, these purple lines are the yesterday's high and yesterday's low. I always just mark these because they might be lines of resistance for the next day. So yesterday's high, yesterday's low is the purple. I also marked, I don't have them marked out now, but there were huge micro gaps here. So I marked out the bottom of this micro gap because I had a feeling that the market was going to try to fill all these massive micro gaps that were over here. If you guys watched yesterday's video, you can see all the massive micro gaps that are up here, which are, huge momentum shifters, and it's why this leg ripped, over 75 points. But getting into today, opened sideways, a couple micro gaps, but nothing really too crazy. And I would just always, what I would say is you just always got to keep in mind what the market is doing. And like I talked about yesterday, the end of the day, the market was trying to fill these micro gaps from yesterday of this huge rip up. And I did predict that today they were going to try to actually fill them. And this line is the last micro gap of this rip up. So I thought it was going to at least try to push down to here. So I marked this out before the start of the day. And my hypothesis was right on. So after this kind of sideways open, you guys can see that there's this huge rip down. Um, Something that I just want to speak on really, really quick. 95% of traders, the traders that aren't profitable, they'll double down or triple down on a trade when it doesn't go their way. So say I'm predicting that that 4 through 8 is going to get a second leg, and this trade goes in, and I buy the close of 9 to go up more, and then 10 happens, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's the second leg still going to come. It's still going to rip up. So then I buy more with 10 because I'm basically, it went against me and I'm losing. And then I try to double up to be able to get back to break even or to make some money. So a lot of people only double up trades when they're losing and it's kind of panic mode and they want to be able to recover. And something I've been doing a lot of research on and watching a lot of podcasts and talks and YouTube videos of world renowned professional traders that are in that 5% of huge profitability is instead of doing what the 95% do and double down, triple down on trades when they are going against you, you double down and triple on trades when they're going for you. So I finally was able to test that strategy today. I had never done it before, and like I said at the beginning of the day, this was my largest gain I've ever made. So as you can see, I saw this huge micro gap on 10. And I just, I was like, this huge micro gap. It hasn't really done much this morning. It's going sideways, but this micro gap is enough of a significant playmaker that it's going to go a whole lot lower. And I still had the market just idea in mind that I was probably going to try to fill these micro gaps from yesterday. So right, you can see on this entry the little arrow underneath the arrow I'm hovering on, right when it pulled back just a little bit, I entered and sold, just with the expectation that I was probably going to try to touch this line of resistance. And usually, what I would do in the past is I would sell and then I would take my 10 points, somewhere down here and be done with this trade. But I decided to be a little bit more risky and take the strategy I've been trying to learn into mind. And I sold here and it went down and I did really well. I probably made at least 10 points and I still had a tight stop loss. Always have a tight stop loss just in case if something goes rogue on me. And then once we got here and it pulled back again, you can see I bought this slight pullback middle of the stick because I was like, I know it's going to go lower. I have a very strong hypothesis that it's going to go a whole lot lower. Um, so what I did is I sold again. It was my first time doing a double sell when a trade was actually working out for me. So it was exciting. And yeah, and then once again, thought my headphones connected to my phone, but yeah, so I sold at the start and then a pullback and I sold again, even though I was making a bunch. And then even for a third time, I really was thinking that I was going to try to test this line of resistance I keep on talking about. And I sold for a third time and I ended up making 40 points. And as anybody that's watched before knows, my daily goal is 10 points. So to make 40 points in a day is pretty tremendous. And I made that um, very, very early in the day. I made it over the course of 20 minutes. And after that, I made the mistake of not being done yesterday after I hit over my daily limit. And today I didn't make that mistake. I said, I'm done. I just, tested a theory that these professional traders always talk about, and it worked. I added onto my position when I was winning, and I made a killing out of it and I'm done for the day. So I still monitored the day, but I just was like, you know what, I'm going to be done. And what was interesting is my hypothesis exactly happened. It tried to fill this micro gap, and there's a wick right here, and it filled the micro gaps, and then it didn't. It was a line of resistance. This ended up being a huge line of resistance. So it tried to pull through here, it couldn't do it. Tried to push through here, and then it reversed on it, and then you can kind of see the rest of the day went sideways, but continuously still having some pushes and threes. So you have a one, pullback two, pullback three, or pullback three here. Um, yeah, but for the rest of the day, it kind of went sideways. I marked this as a double top kind of resistance barrier. Kind of tries to push through a little bit, rejects, tries to push through again, rejects. I thought I was probably going to try to test this line again, but yeah, still going sideways, not seeing anything too great. Micro gap here, that I guess got basically a second leg after a really complicated pullback here, but still not very anything great. But yeah, tried to test this again. So it tests it here. I guess that would be one test, and the market always moves in threes, like I say. And two tests, three tests, and then dumps back down and kind of just went sideways. Have a little three push at the end of the day. One, pullback two, pullback three, comes back up. But yeah, even though, I said I was going to be done, there wasn't really any other trades that I really liked besides I would say this was a good trade just because I knew this was a line of resistance. Once this failed and then this failed and came back up, I could have bought the close of 18. Um, could have bought the close of 18 and I could have gotten up here and I would have made another 10 points or 12-ish points. That was probably the only trade I would have taken, and I was already, up 40 and done for the day. Um, yeah, but once again, if you guys aren't understanding what I'm talking about, go watch some videos on price action or get the Al Brooks trading course. And all of this is because of Al Brooks. I'm trading his strategy in price action of second legs. And a huge shout out to Troy Hoyle again. And just stay updated on new videos every single weekday. This weekend, I'm not going to be doing anything, but I'll have a new video on Monday. If you guys made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, drop them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. I'm just trying to learn along with you guys, but I'm super excited. I had a massive day, and I'm happy to share it with you guys. So have a great rest of your night or day, and I'll see you next week.